I want to.
We're here to serve you guys.
Thank you, Mayor Tharp. Matt Tedrick, 21 Edgewood Street, Front Royal. God bless the First Amendment. I mean, Bruce is a neighbor. I remember as a young child being with my mother's hand, going to his mother's store, and I too remember the afternoon. I remember when I walked to Compton's, I wasn't allowed to walk past the afternoon. I had to go down Peyton Street, down the alley. I came here tonight to talk about the town hall, but unlike Bruce, I want to thank you guys for the vote. Unfortunately, this council was put in a very precarious situation because of the previous council's decision to swap the town hall for the afternoon. And it is what it is. I mean, the mission of the bar is different than your mission. And I think you did the right thing by voting to allow a developer to redevelop that site. Last time I came to the meeting a couple weeks ago, I talked about the town hall. First I want to start with thanking all of you for your public service. I mean that sincerely, as I want to thank members of the Planning Commission and BAR and other committees that are involved with our town government. It's a thankless job at times. That's why I wanted to open my comments by thanking you and sincerely meaning that. I also want to thank you for someone got the word out to the owner of the town hall. At least the weeds have been cut down off the front of the building. Thank you for that. I don't know about the other work, but what distresses me a little bit still, I'm not certain who to go to or where to get answers. And I think perhaps that was Bruce's a theme of his comments as far as transparency and trying to get answers. This is not the forum to get answers, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak, and I know this is not the forum to get the answers. I don't know if I need to schedule a meeting, but it's my understanding that there were restrictive covenants that were voted on by council. These covenants, I could not find them in the deeds. I'm not a lawyer. I did as good of a job as I could to search for it. And then in February 6th of 2014, former Councilman Brett Herbeck lectured many citizens in a letter to the editor, and telling us and assured us that there were provisions that were going to be in place that were going to guarantee the outcome of the town hall. And you guys know what all these provisions are. I'm sure you've been briefed by your attorney and whatnot. I want to know, are these provisions actually in place? Okay? If they are, why aren't they being enforced? If they're not, why were we, I don't want to say misled, that might be too strong of a word. Why was there incompetence, perhaps? Or what transpired that these restrictive covenants were not put on the building? And again, I don't know the facts. So if they're not on the building, I think the community deserves to know why not. And if they're not on the building, what's going to be the outcome of that building now that is held by a private landowner without these restrictive covenants? If the restrictive covenants are in place, again, I come to you suggesting that you put in this year's budget to start the process to buy the building back so it could be saved. I agree with Bruce. History is an important thing, okay? That building is a very old building. It's my understanding it was, if not the first fire station, among the first fire stations in this community. There's a long legacy. If you look at the deed and read some of the names on the deed itself, you'll see some of the forefathers of this community. There's a lot of history in that place, and I don't want to see it end up like the Afton Inn. So I received many emails after my last meeting. A senior citizen emailed me and thanked me for the comments. A former board member of a group that I started years ago, Save Our Gateway, called me and said we need to reconstitute Save the Gateway and call it Save the Town Hall. And I said no, that's not necessary, because I think we have the best town council we've had in at least the last 15 years. And I mean that sincerely. It's a good council, and I know you guys are trying to do right and rectify a lot of problems of the past. Point me in the direction where I need to go to get the answers. If you have the answers, I would ask you to schedule a work session or a meeting, such as one of these meetings, and inform the public what the status of that building is. That's all I ask. Thank you, members of council. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. I'll be back in touch with you, Matt.
Thank you.
Thank you.